Hey, Cheston here, your accounting superhero. I'm on my way to Best Buy, and I'm just thinking I want to do another video for you guys. All right. One of the things I come across a lot is people duplicating expenses inside of their QuickBooks. They're duplicating their income inside of QuickBooks, and really, there's a simple solution to make sure that we're on top of this all the time. So I just want to go over this with you in this video. All right, I'll be right back. Hey, welcome back. This is Cheston, your accounting superhero, and I really wanted to share this video with you today because I see there's an issue with a lot of people having problems with duplication of income and duplication of expenses on their books and QuickBooks, right? So I want to go over one, how do we source the problem? Where's the problem coming from? Why do I have duplication inside of my QuickBooks? And two, establish a way forward, a workflow that makes sense to make sure that this is no longer a problem when we're keeping our records through QuickBooks. Okay. So, number one, duplication of income. All right. So, duplication of income usually happens when we're not recording transactions on the books exactly as they happen in real life. There's an undeposited funds feature in QuickBooks. Anytime we receive checks, cash, or other amounts that have not yet been deposited into our bank account, QuickBooks has this account already established automatically by default for us to receive all payments that we have received from customers and clients to that undeposited funds account if we have not yet placed those funds inside of our bank account. So what will happen is a lot of the times we'll receive a payment from a customer and we'll receive that payment directly to our checking account, right? And then in real life, what happens is we've actually received payments from multiple customers, right? And they didn't hit our checking account immediately. We gathered those checks and the cash and whatever it is that we received, took that amount down to the bank and deposited all in one lump sum. So when it comes to our bank, what we see is that big, huge lump sum. Doesn't match those small amounts that we actually recorded on the books, right? This can be resolved, all right, by making sure that when we go to our bank feed, we can force match all of the deposits that we've made to match up with that one lump sum deposit that actually shows up in the bank account, right? We can go in there and say, okay, this was the payment received from this client, this client, this client, this client that actually made up that large lump sum while we're there in the bank feed. The best way to approach this is to make sure that we record the deposits actually how they happened in real life. Okay. Now, what do I mean? If we receive payments on multiple invoices from multiple customers and did not yet deposit those into the bank, we want to make sure that we record and receive those payments to undeposited funds, number one. All right. Number two, we want to create that deposit in QuickBooks exactly how that deposit exists in real life. So if I'm taking the payments that I receive from my customers all at once down to the bank and it's a lump sum deposit, I want to make sure that I check off each one of those payments that I'm removing from undeposited funds and make sure I record that deposit to my bank account so that when it does come through the bank feed, there's a match already on the books. Let's talk about duplicated expenses. Duplicated expenses usually happen because we're not recording on the books how things happen in reality. One, either we are recording a payment or expense made from one account when it actually happened in another account. And to resolve that issue, we want to make sure that each and every time that we record an expense, check, or anything in QuickBooks, that we make sure that the account we select is the actual account that it comes out of in real life. QuickBooks does not have a forced entry default for its form entry. It defaults to the last account that you used for that particular expense. So we want to make sure that in the workflow process, we always select the account and not leave it to QuickBooks to default that account to what it was the last time. We want to verify that the account that we're paying from is actually the account we're paying out of in real life. The other thing is we record bills, right, to our vendors. And then when an amount shows up to pay off the bill to our vendor, we don't necessarily match it to the bill that exists on the books, and we record it as a new expense. QuickBooks is great because it'll recognize the bill that's open for most vendors, and we can go ahead and match it that way through the bank feed. Fantastic feature. But what happens when we actually pay multiple bills for the same vendor in a lump sum? QuickBooks won't necessarily match it automatically. We need to go in there and select the actual bills that we're paying off with that lump sum amount. All right. And similarly to, as we talked about in income, we want to make sure that we remove a lot of the user error from this by creating that transaction on the books so that there is a match for it when it shows up in the bank feed. We just want to click the match every time we see a match inside the bank feed, and we don't necessarily want to subject ourselves to the potential of user error and duplication. For more on how to fix duplication and other issues inside of QuickBooks, click the bell, subscribe, and give me the thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video.